name is DEVYNE. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I am in corporate America as a director of sales. In addition to that, I'm also a real estate agent in Atlanta.
Also got DEVYNE, who's 44. Like DEVYNE actually. She's been on a dating scene for the last 10 years. I actually like DEVYNE. I like her energy. I like what she brings to the table. I like the fact that she seems quite calm, but she reminds me of Tiffany from last season. And if she's like Tiffany, then we've got a problem, because she's going to be kind of sensitive and over emotional, and then overstating before anything's actually happened. Well, we don't know if Tiffany and Alex actually had a thing, like sexual thing before, because Tiffany's actions were a little bit suspect. But I can see that she's gonna almost tell that same line, where she's gonna step over the line and be too emotional, too quick. You know what I'm saying? And she's a beautiful woman, very elegant, very classy, it seems. So we just need her to keep control on the emotions. Because I was just watching her and I was like, okay, interesting. You know, she mentioned about the fact she wants to grow fat and old and ugly.
So I want to get someone while I'm super fine, and we can grow fat, old, and ugly together and lose our side teeth at the same time.
You're 40.
Again, that just shows her mindset of where it's at. Like, she wants someone, she needs someone that's just going to be cool. For me, that's going to be someone like Jimmy. That's going to be someone like the guy that's KD or whatever. That will be that type of guy, but KD's got kids, so that's probably a no-go. It's probably going to be Jimmy, who hasn't got kids, but he's been divorced, so that's going to be interesting as well. It may potentially be someone like Michael, but we don't want to see a Tiffany and Alex repetition, do we? Really? Do we want to see that? Yes, we do. We want to see that. We want to see that, because that was lit from last season. But just, yeah, kind of just watching her, just seeing that as well. But for me, I think she's just got a down to earth kind of personality, and I like the fact that she's also as well got a bit of banner about her as well. Notice obviously as well, like, she does a lot with her eyes, because her eyes are quite big, so she does a lot with her eyes. So when she's trying to communicate something, her eyes do a lot of the communicating. So just watch out for that whenever she's telling her story, whatever she's doing. Just watch out for the eyes, because they're probably one of the most important things in terms of actually articulating what she's actually saying and what she's thinking and feeling. So yeah, that's quite interesting. The only thing I didn't like about it is the fact that, you know what, she was quite career focused previously, and now you're thinking about a man. It's a bit late, babe. You know what I mean? You're 44. You could have been thinking about this about 5 or 10 years ago, mate. But you know, it's not a thing that's to say that I dislike her. It's more of a case of I dislike the fact that she took so long to get to that point. Because she's a pretty good woman. She's curvaceous. She seems smart. She's intelligent. She's you know, seems like she's down for a laugh as well. So, like, you know, you waited so long, you put yourself in that pool where you're having to really scrape the bottom of the barrel. But we don't want that for you. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm scared that she's gonna be too vulnerable to somebody, and they're gonna nuke her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she seems like the type that's gonna bear her heart on her sleeve, and it's just gonna get her finished. I hope not. My personal favorite is Kimber. For me, Kimber is a freaking one. Kimber, though, is quite funny because her body language, yeah, is very expressive. This is a girl who literally wears her emotions and how she feels on her face and in her body action and everything as well. She's funny, she's down to earth, she's cool, and the body is Oh my days, Kimber, can you be mine? Can you be mine? Can you be mine? Kimber is a freaking one. The girl is buff. Like, when I say black women are buff, that's what I'm talking about when I say buff. Listen, she's lank. Alright, the thing is, But let me take it to the real. She's got good balance skills. Obviously, when she's telling a story about, obviously, her man being in prison, just watch the whole thing. Her hands are always moving. Hands are always moving. So for me, that just shows me, obviously, you know, she gives off good energy as well. That shows me that, you know, she's going to be very expressive, she's going to be very upfront, I believe, as well, with her, you know, intentions and what she feels. I think she's also got a bit of naivety in as well. Just listening to her speak about, you know, her relationships and just saying that all her ex-boyfriends said that she's a great ex-girlfriend. And I believe that. Yeah, and I also believe that she's probably been cheated on as well a few times, and probably is one of those people that can just bounce back all the time, that they don't take it personally, or you know what I'm saying, or they've caught their boyfriend kind of flirting with somebody else and kind of thing. She doesn't take anything of it. I don't know. I just felt that naivety, maybe because also the guy that she was dating went to prison, and you know, boom, that probably, I don't know, that influenced my mind. But for me, I sense the naivety there, and I sense the fact that she's a bad-looking gal, a bad bee. You know, very smart, intelligent. I'm saying that over and over again, but it's just, like I said, when I see the hands flailing a lot in the conversations or when she was explaining her situation, I just knew that obviously she's going to she can potentially attract a guy that's a dickhead. Hopefully she attracts the right guy and she's going to win. But if she attracts a dickhead, she's in trouble. She slightly reminds me a little bit of Ashley as well. And that saying that you can see that almost that naivety, that young girl, but that pretty girl who can entice somebody to take that risk and a chance like Alex did last season. Obviously, my favourite guy, Brent. Brent's dangerous for me. I feel like, you know what, just watching him, he's dangerous. Not a lot of hand movement. Not a lot of hand movement at freaking all. He keeps it very minimalistic, and obviously his role is one of his jobs is obviously to do with behavior, whatever. So there's gonna be some psychology involved in it. He deals with kids. There's gonna be some kind of psychology involved in it, and I feel like this guy is going to play the game differently. This is my bet. This is my sure bet of the dangerous alpha. He is one of them. Him and the other one at the beginning. I can't remember his name, but him and London, dangerous characters because they can switch it up at any time. But Brent is one of those guys that I feel like, I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's a fashion sense. Maybe it's the body posture that he put on. It just shows he's in control. He's oozing some confidence. But he's also a person who's very, very, very detached in the sense of the fact that he doesn't allow people to get to know him, the deep him. He gives people enough that they find him attractive and they get in deep, but he never gives them enough to go deep with them. So he's a very, very clever man. He understands what he's doing. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to get the ladies. As he said, he was aggressive. He's going to be a man that the girls are going to love. If you watch his body language, his hands are actually down by his side, and actually and then at one point I think he's got his leg crossed over and he's holding his legs. Again, he doesn't move his hands much because, again, the expression is in the coolness of his behavior, not in the emotion of his behavior. He's very calculated. He's calculating every step and move that he's making. He's not just making moves. He's playing checkers and chess, and how he deals with this game. So you're going to see him play that game very, very tactically. Probably going to keep himself open for 2 or 3 girls, not lock off a girl early. Again, I could be wrong.
I struggle with is letting women in, letting them really get to know who I am. I can't stay in the same rut for the rest of my life. I have to open up. I have to have a meaningful relationship, have someone I can trust, I can build with, I can grow with.
And when he actually explains about the fact he doesn't let women in, notice that is the only time his hands actually move. Because at that point he's being passionate, he's being open, and he's being vulnerable and genuine. Okay, he's not controlling the behavior at that point. At that point, he's being free because he's telling the truth. You understand? He's breaking his own mold of an image that he's trying to present, but he's just being free. That's why the hands came out. Tondi, 42. She reminds me, she's got the spirit of Shanta from last season, or Shantae from last season, whatever. And it's just, there's this little dial of aggression which
I struggle with is letting women in, letting them really get to know who I am. I can't stay in the same rut for the rest of my life. I have to open up. I have to have a meaningful relationship, have someone I can trust, I can build with, I can grow with.
My name is Tondi. I'm born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and I am 42 and fabulous. I am known in our neighborhood as the Miss Parker. So I'm 42 years old, but a lot of people feel like I don't look like I'm 42 years old. So when I go up to my daughter's school, of course, we got the little boys trying to hit on me. They slide in my DMs. I mean, it's funny, but, I do have to tell them, guys, it's a no-go, so. I do like a nice tall man, you know what I'm saying? Got a nice little pee hanging down there. You know what I'm saying? You know, smell good, nice, you know, look at nails. This one guy was there, he said, why you always talking about my nails? I said, I don't want your hand touched about clean cat. You know what I'm saying? What you got under there? I have a strong personality. I don't want no dumpy ass guy. I can be blinking my little long ass lashes and do all kind of stuff, and he just turn around. I'm like, oh Lord, what am I doing wrong? Somebody deserves.
You're two women like the same man.
Well, may the best bitch win. Okay? Because I'm going to put it up 100%, honey.
It's borderline. It's borderline. But you know what? I like the fact that she's very straightforward and very blunt. She's not playing around. It is what it freaking is. Yeah. If I say I want you, I want you. So tell me if you want me, you don't want me. This is what Shantae was doing last season. Exact same way. Keep it 100. And I feel like Tonya is going to be that same woman. If someone tries it and tries to take the piss, she's going to correct them and feels no way about it, because she's all about confidence, all about the fact that she knows herself. She's all about the fact that, look, I've got it together, so don't ever try me. Like, don't ever get twisted. I can get, man. Don't ever think that you're too special, kind of. That's the vibe I've got from her. That's the vibe I'm getting from her. But I would say that obviously the aggression, which was also picked up by nephew Tommy as well, and Will Packard, is that, you know what, that aggression didn't work for Shantae last season, and it won't work here, because aggression is not actually. Aggression is something that is often, you know, associated with testosterone and associated with men, right? So when a woman's being very aggressive, she becomes like a man in the man's eyes, therefore losing the desirability that we have towards you because you're behaving like one of us. We don't want one of us. We've got one of us already. Chill. You understand? And that's what I think men often like. But, you know, I respect the fact she's about her business and that nobody can tell her nothing. You know, and I think as well, she's a very big extrovert. When you watch her, her whole body is being moved. Her whole body, she uses every part of her body to move. Hands, the actual body, then use her neck and her head would begin to move. And, you know, say, I like competition. Like, all of that competitive nature, you just see that she's expressive. And she has no problem being open and honest. She will tell you what it is. She will tell you what time it is. And you can try and tell her, but she's like, I know me. I know what my weaknesses are. I know when I mess up. I will tell you that I messed up because I've got no freaking way about it. And that's what I'm seeing from her. I'm seeing that there's a genuine interest in the fact that she just doesn't care. Bro, I'll tell you what it is. I'll lace you nicely, brother. So yeah, that was one thing I noticed about her movements as well.
My life. I think when you're this single, you start remembering mistakes that you've done, and you be like, man, I don't want to be this anymore. I was married back in 2010, and I got divorced in 2013. It just kind of went downhill. I mean, you know, to me, that experience was one of the best things ever in my life. My ex-wife was one of the most caring.
Moving on to Jimmy, obviously a divorcee after 3 years in 2013, I believe, after 3 years of marriage, unfortunate. But one thing I clocked from him was obviously that he mentioned about that he's starting to remember. He gets to that age where you're starting to remember the mistakes that you've made, and you don't want to be this way anymore. For me, that lets me know this. That sounds like there's a regret on his side for what he had done. Now, I don't know what he's done, but he's done something that's caused a rift in the relationship that he had previously with his wife, because he knows that now he knows that the problems that he faces, he knows what he's done wrong. He knows the things that, you know, that he weren't doing that weren't correct. Do you get me? So that lets me know that he knows what he's done, and there was some part that he played in that divorce as well. But obviously, his urgent moment is to start a family. I don't know who's going to start a family at this particular time of moment. Maybe Nina. Nina will probably be a good match for that. Although she got a son, but I'm sure she will settle down very soon. Kimmel could be also a good match as well, because Kimmel's looking for a family in future as well. But how much she would actually feel for him, I don't know. He looks a bit of a runover compared to Kimmel, at least. So I don't know how that would work. I love the fact that he's funny and he's ready to do different things. You know, that openness to want to do different things is very, very important, because it means you're ready for change. And I feel like change is so important when it comes to relationship, because nobody's perfect. Number two, no change, death. Anything that don't grow dies, and with growth comes change. So therefore, if there's no growth, then there's no change. The thing is not alive, because it's one of the expectancies of something that's alive is to change, is to grow, is to evolve over time. And so I think for that, I respect him for that. Obviously, I don't like the fact that obviously he said obviously he's needy in it, and in this competition, the neediness could get you killed. The neediness can get you used and abused because people need to stay in the competition. They don't mind doing what they're doing. Last season we saw it. I think I can't remember who was coming back for Alex as well. I can't remember what the light skinned girl was called. I can't remember her name, but she was trying to get on Alex, and Alex wasn't interested at the time. So he played it a little bit. He enjoyed it a little bit, but he was never going to be on it. And that's what we're going to see in this series as well, because people need to stay in. People need to stay in, and their man or their girl that they like is over there, and they need to stay in. They need to do whatever they can do to stay in to get the love of their life, right? And we all do it, so I don't blame them. So yeah, there's just the neediness. He's gonna have to be very careful of that. It was interesting as well, because obviously the hand gestures that he was making was when, you know, when he hears about what I hate you should. When he says about what he hates in it, when he says obviously what he hates, that's when the actions and the hand signals start to come out. He's starting to explain that this is what I hate, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like that, why do you not do this, da, da, da. And that's when the hand signals are coming out. Because at this point, again, he's being free. At this point, he's just circulating and trying to communicate what he feels within him at that particular time point. So again, it just shows a bit more passion in that area, and just shows obviously that thing is something he doesn't like because of the energy that he's put towards that. So yeah,
man that I was just so heads over heels about. I want love now because it's time. When I was in my 20s, I was hurt, I was broken, I just had so much emotional baggage. So there's this guy that I dated.
We've got Nina as well, like I said. You know, she previously had a gay partner, you know, and she's been lied to and hurt, and I don't know what that does to the psyche. If I do, when someone lies and betrays you, and not only that, they're now gay as well, they were also doing gay stuff, like, bro, that will throw your confidence all over the shop. You're asking yourself, is it me? Did I do something? Why am I choosing bad guys? Blah, 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 blah. Plus you got a kid as well. And I think what's interesting with Nina is the fact that, you know, she wears it all on the front again. This is somebody else who literally wears it all on the front, and that's dangerous because people can take advantage of that. If they see you, they can take advantage. And she literally has all her emotions, all her mind, literally in her, you know, her hand signals and her face, her body language. It gives it all away, and that is scary because somebody who's a dickhead doesn't mind taking advantage of somebody who's displaying all the goods on show. Do you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't necessarily mean she dressed up sexy or anything. It just means the fact that she's got her emotions out too early. She needs to put them back in and actually recover, and actually say, you know what, I won't put my emotions out there just yet without there being a guaranteed return. Do you know what I'm saying? And she mentioned about the fact that she was in her 20s and she was, you know, she was an emotional baggage and wreck basically, and you know, since then she's had to recover, and now she's at a point where she feels that she recovered. I was like, okay, cool, no, I hate that, I do understand. So I appreciate that again, and I think her match will probably be Jimmy as well. She reminds me of Melinda without the beef. I don't know, something about her look. She reminds me of Melinda. Got a bit of an Ashley look into her as well, with the hair as well. But, you know, she reminds me of Melinda without the beef that comes with it. So, yeah, she's going to be an interesting one to watch as well, because I feel like she's got a lot to offer in terms of the fact that she's, you know what, having a kid is never easy. And it's never the starting block you want. But I think the way her personality is set up, someone potentially would consider it, because at the end of the day,
Mississippi. Hey, I tell everybody Kevin Hart my cousin, more Chestnut my brother. But hey, you know, they looking for that Kevin Hart money too now. So you know, hey, I ain't got there yet.
About Mario now. He's an adrenaline junkie. He said he's got 3 daughters and he used to be married 6 years ago. For me, I was like, from the way he's talking to Sif, bruv, he hasn't finished his relationship with his ex, bruv. You need to go back if he ain't finished. Because we don't want none of that, what that girl was doing last season, where she was texting her man, still in between her man and the show. Listen, we want you to be serious 100%. Are you on it or you're not on it? But he reminds me, he looks like KD, Morris Chestnut, Kevin Hart, all rolled into one. And when I say KD, the basketball player, rolled up into one. Do you get me? What's interesting is as well is his body language. Now, he's not naturally as confident as he may make you feel like, because actually his body language was that he had a hunch in shoulders. It was like this, his head was almost in his neck. He wasn't relaxed, he wasn't being himself, he wasn't free. And that for me just shows that obviously, you know what, he wasn't comfortable in his skin, or I shouldn't say in his skin, that he's not as confident as he portrays himself to be. Do you know what I'm saying? That there is an undertone current of And nothing where you're not as confident as you need to be, there's nothing, an insecurity or a pain or something that triggers you that makes sure that you don't want to go down that route again. Do you get me? Oh, it's genuine and real. The dislike is that, you know what, that he's not as strong as he makes out to be. That's simply it.